I don't know what to do with it. Oh, look at this tree. Oh, man, look at the... Hi, miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. I'm going to work on this Japanese black pine. I believe it's the Arakawa variety. In fact, the cork pine may be a selective variety of the Arakawa pine, which is known for its rough bark, and the bark breaks up a little bit. Sometimes they refer to that as a turtle shell bark. I got this tree about a year and a half ago, October, at an auction, at the Mammoth auction in Lake Merritt in Oakland. And I really love it because it's really a beautiful specimen in terms of the cultivar. The bark looks really nice. My problem with the design of this tree is that you see it's very long. I don't know what to do with it. It's a nice tree, but it's not going to be a spectacular tree because, it's so tall. What do I do with it? So the point I want to make to use this case, you can have a nice bonsai. It's just nice, but it's, okay. What can you do to change it, to make a drastic change, to make it stand out? This tree, the way I see it is that this is so skinny, the taper it's got a little bit of taper. This is thicker than this, but this thicker than that, but it's really not a good bonsai by the bonsai quality standard. So what I've decided to is to make a drastic cut, which most people would be just cringe, is I'm going to cut off this part and make this into a small tree. Now, can you imagine in a pot where this trunk reduces to this, in a sense, a tremendous taper and a very, very spectacular branch, and you can relate to this, and it's got a lot of green for me to adjust the branching. So that's what I do. So when you get a tree, when you cannot decide what to do, what you can do is what I call the disappearing trick, which is like take a bag or take a handkerchief or a towel to hide the tree, the part that you don't like. And so what I would do is that I will put this over it, this garbage bag. So this is a way to help you visualize what the tree will ultimately look like. And so now you can see I will have a tree about this tall, and this branch can come this way, that branch can go to the back, and this could be cascading down, and maybe I'll even make it a little bit more upright. You can see how beautiful the tree is, and you will not be distracted by this part of the tree. And I could have cut it off today, but I really feel sad to do that because, it took many, many years to get that, the top. So a middle of the row approach is I'm going to try to air layer this part. Okay, I think the likelihood of that successful is probably less than 50%. I did an older tree, also a Arakawa pine, about 9 months ago. I air layer it. I would say the trunk is about this size. There's no roots yet, but I definitely see some callousing occurring where the cambium layer is. So there's a possibility that air layering an old tree, an old pine tree will work. That's generally never done before. But here we are to learn, we experiment, and maybe it will work, maybe it wouldn't. So today I will not cut this, but I'll start to point out this and then do a little bit of clipping to get it going. But I will not be doing the reworking of this tree. It's really more to make a point. You can see this branch is coming down, and look at this lichen growing on the bark, which is really nice. By the way, I peeled some of the lichen off and put on some other bark, and that seemed to able to transplant it. Just look at this tree. It comes up like this, and this comes up. This could may very well be the front. This comes up like that, and then look at this branch. How beautiful that little twist is naturally. So let me do a little bit of clipping of the part that I'm going to make into a new tree to get it going. So while air layering this, it will give this the time to develop into a nice bonsai. So as soon as I cut this off, if it's rooted or not rooted for that matter, then I will have a nice tree already well on its way. There's several improvements I want to make. First of all, as I always say, you always make sure the roots are okay, otherwise you'll never come out right. So in this case, you can see the roots are actually pretty nice, but why is this one crossing this and why is that one crossing that? So I rather have it right rather than having more. So I cut off this part. You see? And there's a little indentation, but that will heal over in time because as the sap flows, it will push it up. And the same thing about this, it's okay. I think they call it shari, exposed roots. But this one is going across this way, which really doesn't look nice. So what I will do then is try to cut this one off too. You see? Now you have everything kind of going out radially. This one is already dead, but then you have a root going out this way. Not so good, but at least it's not going to the side. And so that's a bit of a setback for the tree, but it will soon heal over. So this is the tree, and I think this could be the front with the root edge nicely like this. And then let me work on the thing. As I say always, begin with the apex in mind now that I got the roots done. So this is what I'll do. I will use both the cut and grow method as well as the wiring to get this to shape quickly. I can imagine this could be the apex. Yeah, that could be a nice apex because the tree is going this way, so the apex is going this way. So this had to go back to become the back branch, and I don't need it to be quite that long. And I wanted to start off closer to the apex. So like you notice that these are little tips, growing tips. So I'll cut it off here. So then a nice long branch will come out here for me to work on. And this one, let me just cut it off here to let it grow out, wire a little bit to make it go like this. So that will be the back branch. And then this one, I think this is too far gone, but let me save it by cut it where there's a bud. And then this one, I'll cut it here so that it can branch out here. And then the same thing here. Now you can see this tree is coming up like this, right? Coming up like this. And then this will be the back branch and this will be the side branch. These are the side branches that would make the around the apex. And then this one, I will bend it down further to make it go down below, behind. I'll probably wire it to make it go like this. So again, I want to keep it short, but clip off where there's some greens. And I'm not going to be really careful at this point because I'm going to work on the ones that shoot out from the cuts that I just made and then do the finer arrangement the next time. You just got to think, give it plenty of time. So look at this. This goes back and then this branch comes down, like, drooping due to the weight. I think that would look nice. And this part I'll clean out eventually. And then you have a branch coming down this way. Now, look at how beautiful this branch is. Look at this. It comes down like this. It curls up. It goes down. just a lot of motion. So you want to try to capture that. And like, well, this one's got a really nice little bud, and this one's very close, but let me save it for now, just in case. And I think the one I'm likely to use is this part because it's going the right angle. Let me cut this off. I will not be using it. And I will do a little bit of wiring. So I don't force the wiring at this stage, but more like let nature take over and then capitalize on what the nature wants to do. And I think this could be really nice that this one goes out this way, this one. So let me be on the safe side by cutting this off. And then so look at this branch. Look at this part. How beautiful this is. Right from the top and the top that we just did. Now this part, the tree is basically this is going to be way too front. So in fact, again, you will cringe. What I was going to do is just cut it entirely off. But given there's some powerful lines here, let me try to save it. Again, this is going to be could be quite temporary. In a sense, I may change my mind the next time when I do the design. Look at this branch coming down the front. Look at this. This is going up like this. This is coming down like this. Look at that. Whoa. Look at that. Huh? And this can come out. This is a very rough cut. The next one will really make a big difference, but I will show you that update in 3 to 6 months from now. So the question is that, what do I do with this? I think this is a long one, this is a short one. I think I should make a little middle one up here. And this one I'll just make into there's not much of a chin either. So just cut it off. Let me do the following. Let me take a wire to pull this down to, not permanently, but at least get a position for a better look next time. So what I did is I put in an eye bolt that will soon heal, you'll never see it, to pull this branch down to give it more of a drastic impression. So like that's going to that side. So maybe this is more to this side. You see, it's holding in place just by like that. And if I leave it on 2 to 3 months, even 1 to 2 months, the branch should stay put pretty well. Look at that. Oh, magnifique. Look at this tree. Oh man, look at this. Basically, you have a tree in a kind of I think in a round bunjing pot. This tree coming up like this, coming down, going back, maybe going back, and then this one coming up like this. And so that's a pad, that's a pad, that's a pad, and there's a pad behind. This is going to be a museum piece, I'm afraid to say, being eternal optimist. This is an incredible tree. And so what I done is that I cut out most of it and try to take advantage of the branching. That brings me up the question about life lesson that we can learn from bonsai. And, I draw an analogy. In this case, I said, unless you make a drastic cut, you really are not going to get something spectacular. And people expect this to be nice ramification and all that, and you can learn that from anywhere. But the drastic cut is your own decision that only you can make. And the extrapolation I would like to make is that about how to raise children. I have to brag that both my children are very successful entrepreneurs. One is in the high-tech web space, and then the other one is actually in fashion. My daughter is a pretty well-known fashion distributor of American fashion in Asia, built quite a sizable business. And the point is that when we raise children, we think of the tiger mom approach. You probably think that's what I do being an Asian, which in essence is nagging their children to do everything their way. They think it's the right way. I didn't do that. What I did is I told my son, especially because my daughter is always a good student, I said, I don't care what kind of grades you get, but I want you to get one A, so you know what it takes to get an A, and then you go with your passion. And I think that message is very different from the tiger mom, where you got to do exactly this and that. That stuff you can learn by osmosis over time. You don't need to nag them. Just like the bonsai teacher emphasized so much on the detail, the wiring, whatever else, that make your mind boggling about a fearful bonsai, instead of turning you loose, telling you to be drastic, be bold, never be afraid to make mistake, and the rest of you can pick it up over time. It's very natural, very, very obvious. So with that in mind, then I hope you like your video. And I think given that this is a bit of a live lessons, please pass on to a friend as well. Also click like, of course, I like that. And subscribe to our channel and send us your email address so that we can notify you of announcements. But in addition to that, please ask your bonsai friend to watch the video as well as ordinary friends, because everybody's interested in bonsai, but they're afraid of it. But I want to give them permission, so to speak, to not be fearful of it and enjoy the bonsai hobby. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you next week.